What's up, guys? It is time for our Week 7 picks. Just so everybody knows, we will hopefully next week be collaborating with Dan Mitchell and his girlfriend. It's on. Getting into it, Thursday Night Football is a divisional matchup with the New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Both teams aren't very good, and the division is trash. Everybody knows by now the Giants are out Saquon Barkley. I think Daniel Jones is up and coming, but Carson Wentz is better. They barely lost to the Ravens last week, and I think the Eagles get it done this week in a fairly easy victory. Who you got?
I'm going to pick the Giants because, I don't know, they're bigger than Eagles.
But the Eagles fly higher.
Ooh, I guess we'll see.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Okay, next we have the Carolina Panthers versus the New Orleans Saints. So the New Orleans Saints coming off a bye week. Drew Brees had a little extra time to rest that old arm of his. And the Carolina Panthers are coming off of a stinging loss against the Bears, which, by the way, I predicted. I'm going to pick Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara. The Saints defense, I think they get it done. It's a divisional matchup. The Saints are going to prove that they are, if not the best team, one of the top two teams in that division. How about you?
I'm going to pick the Panthers. I think they're due for a win.
We'll see if Teddy Bridgewater can get it done, but I'm sticking with the Saints. Okay, getting into my favorite game, and I'm sure all of yours, the Bills versus the New York Jets. The New York Jets couldn't have come at a better time on the Bills' schedule. After losing two nationally televised games against two very good teams, I might add, the Buffalo Bills are going to trample the New York Jets. The Jets may be the worst team of all time, and I think they're going to prove it.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Bills. Obviously, I don't even think the Jets have scored a single point.
They didn't last week. Do you think they're going to score this week?
No.
Jets are getting shut out for the second week in a row. Go Bills. Okay, another divisional matchup. The Browns versus the Bengals. So I made the terrible mistake of picking the Browns last week. They got absolutely trampled by their rival, the Steelers.
Who I picked?
I was wrong. She was right. This week, although the Browns are more talented, they can't be trusted. And after last week, I really don't even want to trust them because they embarrassed me. They made Cassidy right. And I'm going to pick Joe Burrow and the Bengals to upset the Browns.
I'm going to pick the Bengals too. I think they're an up-and-coming team.
And they're fierce.
They're fierce.
This must be the week of divisional matchups because next we have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Washington football team. Before we get into that, I have to give a shout out to my cousin Chris, who is a lifelong Washington football team fan. He was actually at the Buffalo Bills Washington Super Bowl. He was in the house to see the Bills lose their second consecutive. However, he is a Bills fan, but he's a Washington fan first. And he called me last week to let me know his feelings about my picking the Giants over the Washington football team. Unfortunately for him, I was correct. This week, I hope I'm correct as well, because I am picking the Washington football team to be the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys looked like trash on Monday night, and I think they're going to look like trash again this week.
I'm going to pick Washington for Cousin Chris, and also because anybody versus the Cowboys, I'm going to pick anybody else.
Same. Next, we have an interconference matchup with the Green Bay Packers going to Houston. The Packers were embarrassed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I have a feeling that they're going to get back on track because Houston isn't a very good team.
Well, the Texans lost in overtime last week, so I'm going to pick Green Bay.
I'm also picking Green Bay. I don't think Houston's a good team, and they're going to prove it this week. Next game, we have the Lions versus the Atlanta Falcons. So, unfortunately, last week, we were both wrong. We picked the Jacksonville Jaguars to beat the Detroit Lions, and that didn't happen. The Atlanta Falcons are coming off of their first victory of the season.
I'm actually going to pick the Falcons because they won last week, so I'm gonna say they're going to have a winning streak.
I am going to agree with you. I have always been high in Atlanta because I think their offense has the potential to be great when they're healthy. And I don't trust Detroit. If Detroit wins this week, maybe they'll change my mind. But as of now, I'm going Falcons. So this might be the best matchup of the day. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. My opinion is that Tennessee is the hottest team in the NFL right now. Something about COVID-19 made them be really good at football. I don't know what it is, but I will say this. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think the Steelers are going to give them a run for their money. But I think Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, who is playing out of his mind, are going to come away with the victory.
I'm going to pick the Steelers. They haven't lost a single game yet this season. I think they're really good.
This is true. The Steelers have not lost a game, but neither has Tennessee. So it's a battle of the unbeatens.
I'm going Steelers.
Time will tell. Getting into the 4 o'clock window now, we have another divisional matchup with the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals. I know I was bummed last week after the Bills game, but after the Bills game, the Arizona Cardinals did play the Dallas Cowboys, and they smoked them. That being said, the Seattle Seahawks have had 2 weeks to prepare for this team, and they might have the MVP of the league. So I am going to go with Seattle.
Actually, I think I will go with Seattle as well. They have really sharp uniforms. They look like a good team. They got it together.
You like the lime green?
I do.
I like the lime green too. We're going Seahawks. Chiefs Broncos. So I found out last week that Cassidy thinks Patrick Mahomes is hot. Not hotter than yours truly. You serious?
He's thick.
And better at football and makes more money. But hey, what are you going to do? I have a YouTube channel. This to me is pretty cut and dry. Although the Broncos did beat the New England Patriots last week, they did not score a single touchdown. And the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL, and last week they proved that they could run the ball too. And it's not just because of that Bills defense. Le'Veon Bell is a running back they just signed, and he's pretty good as well. And I think he'll be making his Kansas City Chiefs debut. So I'm going Chiefs.
I'm going Chiefs. That's a good-looking team.
Speaking of good-looking teams, the Los Angeles Chargers are going to play host to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars got beat last week by the Lions. The Chargers didn't play. The Chargers had 2 weeks to prepare for them. And me personally, I think Justin Herbert, their rookie quarterback, is better than Gardner Minshew, the guy with a mustache on the Jaguars. So I'm going to pick the Chargers. Both teams have 1 win, by the way.
I'm going to go Jags. Mustache man.
Something about it.
They're due for a win.
The Chargers are due for a win, too.
I just like his mustache.
We agree to disagree. Rounding out the 4 o'clock window, we have another interconference matchup with the San Francisco 49ers taking on the New England Patriots. So, the New England Patriots lost to the Broncos without giving up a touchdown. The San Francisco 49ers are coming off an impressive Sunday Night Football victory versus their division rival Los Angeles Rams. This is kind of tough because the Patriots do have the best coach in the NFL, but the 49ers I think are a more talented team and they're finally getting healthy because a lot of their guys were hurt. I'm going to pick the 49ers.
I'm going to pick the 49ers. I think they're a better team. They have a good quarterback.
Their quarterback's okay. They do have a better team. I really want to think that the Patriots aren't that good, and I don't think they're that good, but their coach is that good. For that reason, they're going to be in every game, but we're both going with the 49ers. By this point, we have all been waiting for Sunday night.
They're waiting for Sunday night.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to Las Vegas in the John Gruden Bowl. So if you didn't know this, John Gruden, the Raiders head coach, coached the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beforehand and won a Super Bowl with him. Do you know what the common denominator there is? Both teams have pirate logos.
All right.
Surprising to everybody, the Raiders are coming off a victory, beating their arch rivals, the Kansas City Chiefs, who the Bills just lost to. They didn't play last week, so they're going to be well rested. However, I like the Buccaneers. I still think Tom Brady has a lot in him, and I think the Buccaneers are an overall more talented team, and they definitely have a better defense. So I'm going with the Bucs.
I'm going to go with the Raiders. You said that they just beat Kansas City?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. They must be good.
So they have this really fast wide receiver that didn't play against the Bills, and they're like a different team when he plays.
All right. Going Raiders.
Not a bad pick. For some reason, nobody thinks the Bears are good, but they've only lost 1 game. All this team does is win. I know the Rams are a good team, but I am picking Chicago in the upset victory, if you want to call it that. They have a better record, but I'm sure most people will pick the Rams. I'm picking the Bears to beat the Rams this week.
I'm going to pick the Rams because even though they lost the last game, I believe they're going to pull through. They're a good team.
Fair enough. I have a feeling that all of my picks are going to be right. At the end of this thing, I'm going to be in the lead.
Is there a prize for whoever gets the most right?
There is
We should have a prize.
There's a prize. We don't know yet. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Let us know in the comments below your picks for week 7. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and go Bills.
Go football.